6 p.m. Pakistan's Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Zahra Sikandar. First, the headlines. President has expressed Pakistan's readiness to work with China and other nations to expand cultural exchanges and strengthen creative industries. Security forces have killed 35 Khawarij in two separate engagements in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Inter-Services Public Relations has urged Afghanistan to deny use of its soil for terrorist activities against Pakistan. Pakistan Army and Navy are continuing relief operations in flood-affected areas of Punjab and Sindh. APHC has urged United Nations Security General to intervene for just resolution of the Kashmir dispute. And in T20 Asia Cup, Bangladesh will take on Sri Lanka in Abu Dhabi this evening. Now, the news in detail. President Asif Ali Zardari has expressed Pakistan's readiness to work with China and other nations to expand cultural exchanges, strengthen creative industries, and promote culture of tolerance. Addressing the second Golden Panda Awards International Culture Forum in Chengdu, he said culture remains a vital bridge to peace, prosperity, and a shared future for humanity. The president expressed Pakistan's support for China's vision of civilization exchange and mutual learning. Asif Ali Zardari observed that the world is undergoing dramatic changes and praised China under President Xi for offering a path of cooperation and a win-win solutions instead of confrontation. 35 Khawarij belonging to Indian proxy Fitna al-Khawarij were killed by security forces in two separate engagements in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province over the last few days. According to the ISPR, an intelligence-based operation was conducted by the security forces in Bajor district. During the conduct of operation, troops effectively engaged the Khawarij location, and after the intense fire exchange, 22 Indian-sponsored Khawarij were killed. In another encounter that took place in South Waziristan district, 13 more Khawarij were neutralized by the security forces. However, during intense fire exchange, 12 brave sons of soil, having fought gallantly, paid the ultimate sacrifice and embraced Shahadat. Intelligence reports have unequivocally confirmed physical involvement of Afghan nationals in these heinous acts. Besides use of Afghan soil against Pakistan by Fitna al-Khawarij, terrorists continues to remain a grave point of concern. The ISPR in a statement said Pakistan expects the interim Afghan government to uphold its responsibilities and deny use of its soil for terrorist activities against Pakistan. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif have commended security forces for two successful operations against the terrorists of Fitna al-Khawarij in Bajwar and South Waziristan districts. They also expressed profound grief over the martyrdom of 12 valiant soldiers who laid down their lives while fighting the Indian-backed Fitna al-Khawarij. In a statement today, the president said their blood further strengthens the nation's resolve to eradicate terrorism. In his message, the Prime Minister said the security forces are standing like a solid wall in the war against terrorism. He said the entire nation pays tribute to the martyrs. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sagdar chaired the Cabinet Committee meeting on long-term residency policy in Islamabad today. The committee deliberated in detail and approved the Foreigner Order 2025, a key initiative under Pakistan's investment visa policy to attract investors and professionals. Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi has expressed government's resolve to develop the federal constabulary on modern lines and transform it into a well-organized, highly efficient force. He was chairing a meeting in Islamabad today and announced to relocate the federal constabulary headquarters from Peshawar to Islamabad. Mohsin Naqvi directed the CDA officials that training and operational requirements of the federal constabulary must be prioritized while selecting the site. Pakistan Army is fully prepared for a situation arising from recent torrential rains and potential moderate flooding in Sindh. The troops are fully assisting the civil administration in dealing with potential flood situation, and working is ongoing on various locations to build embankments to prevent flooding. Pakistan Navy is continuing relief operations in flood-affected areas of Punjab and Sindh. In view of severe flood situation, Pakistan's Navy emergency response team has also been deployed in Jalalpur. Multan teams already present in Kashmir, Ghodki, Sakkar and Shikarpur are actively engaged in flood relief activities. The emergency response teams are equipped with hovercraft, rescue boats and specialized diving teams. This is Radio Pakistan. Turkmenistan's ambassador to Pakistan, Atadordi Movalov, held a meeting with newly appointed ambassador of the European Union to Pakistan, Raimondas Karobilis, in Islamabad. Highlighting Turkmenistan's role in regional connectivity, Ambassador Mavlamov briefed the European Union envoy on the progress of key infrastructure projects such as the Turkmenistan-Afghanistan-Pakistan-India gas pipeline and the Turkmenistan-Afghanistan-Pakistan power transmission line. He said these projects represent vital links in the regional energy landscape and other significant opportunities for international cooperation. A coalition of international human rights organizations has slammed India for keeping its student activist Omar Khalid behind bars for 5 years without trial. In a joint statement ahead of the 5th anniversary of his arrest, Amnesty International, the International Commission of the Jurists, the International Federation for Human Rights Forum Asia, Frontline Defenders, and the World Organizations have underlined that his prolonged detention exposes the collapse of justice. In Doda district of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, strict curbs remained in force for the 5th consecutive day today to suppress protests against the detention of MLA Miraj Malik under the Draconian Public Safety Act. According to Kashmir Media Service, life remains paralyzed as internet services and educational institutions stay shut, while large contingents of Indian forces patrol the streets. So far, police have arrested more than 8 people, including several women, for participating in demonstrations. All parties heard conference spokesperson Advocate Abdul Rashid Minhas in a statement issued in Srinagar expressed deep concern over the plight of Hurriyat leaders, activists, and other Kashmiri detainees. He said they were jailed merely for advocating a peaceful political settlement of the Kashmir dispute and stressed that BJP-led Indian government was attempting to crush Kashmir's freedom spirit through brute state terrorism. The APHC urged United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to intervene for the release of these detainees and the just resolution of the Kashmir dispute. The British newspaper Financial Times has released a documentary film that exposes the authoritarian rule and corruption of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Bangladesh. The film, based on investigations by local and international experts, revealed that corruption, looting, and abuse of power flourished during Sheikh Hasina's rule. South Asia Bureau Chief of Financial Times said the student protest movement reached its peak due to corruption in job quotas and the government's authoritarian behavior. At least 65 more Palestinians have been martyred and 300 injured in unabated Israeli attacks across Gaza. Israeli airstrikes targeted a United Nations school sheltering displaced Palestinians in the Gaza city, and a multi-story residential building was also bombed. Meanwhile, 7 more people, including 2 children, died due to famine and malnutrition in Gaza. According to Gaza's health ministry, total number of hunger-related deaths in Gaza to 420. An emergency Arab Islamic summit will be held in Doha on Monday to discuss a draft resolution on Israel's attack against Qatar. The summit reflected broad Arab and Islamic solidarity with the state of Qatar in the face of Israel's cowardly aggression and the categorical rejection of Israel's state terrorism. And in T20 Asia Cup, Bangladesh will take on Sri Lanka in Abu Dhabi today. The match will start at 7:30 in the evening. Pakistan, in the second match of the event, will face India at the same venue tomorrow. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, partly cloudy weather is expected in Kashmir and adjoining hilly areas with rain, wind, and thunderstorm. that may occur at isolated places. Hot and dry weather will prevail over most flood-affected districts of Punjab during next couple of days. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. For more news and analysis, visit our website radio.gui.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.